summer of 1973, a young boy went missing in the forests of upstate New York. Days later, his voice would be heard again, over a CB radio, crackling through the static, calling for help. But when rescue teams tried to trace him, what they found didn't make any sense. This is the story of Larry, a 12-year-old boy whose disappearance would haunt a small town for decades. But it wasn't just that he went missing, it was the messages that came afterward, through the radio, that made authorities question everything they thought they knew about the case. On July 3rd, 1973, Larry had been playing near the woods behind his home. He lived in a rural area of upstate New York where the forest stretched for miles and the local streams ran cold and fast. That afternoon, he told his mother he was going to explore a little farther than usual, but promised he'd be back by dinner. Hours passed, and when he didn't return, his parents began to worry. By sunset, a search party had formed. Neighbors, friends, and local law enforcement combing the dense forest for any sign of Larry. The forest was unforgiving. Streams, uneven terrain, and the thick canopy made visibility difficult. Search dogs struggled to pick up a scent. No one found Larry that night, and as the hours turned into days, hope began to fade. Then, on the third night, something happened that would change everything. The local police received a strange report. Larry's CB radio, normally silent, had turned on by itself. Officers picked up the static first, the crackling white noise of the CB radio. Then, a voice.
"Help me, please, I'm lost,"
the voice said. It was unmistakably Larry. But how was this possible? He hadn't been found, and the radio wasn't supposed to turn on by itself. Investigators scrambled to trace the source, but every attempt failed. The forest was vast. Mountains, streams, and dense tree lines blocked any signal. It was as if the voice was coming from nowhere. Over the next few nights, the CB radio continued to transmit. Sometimes it was static. Sometimes it was Larry crying, calling for help, sometimes whispering words that didn't make sense. And then, the strangest thing happened. The radio picked up voices that weren't Larry's. Low, deep murmurs, almost like someone or something was answering him from the woods. Neighbors reported seeing strange lights in the forest around the same time as the transmissions. Orbs, flickers of movement. Some claimed to hear faint footsteps, though the area was completely deserted. Authorities brought in radio experts to analyze the transmissions. They confirmed the voice was authentic, Larry's voice. But the signal's origin couldn't be traced. Experts said the distance and clarity were impossible given the technology of 1973. And for weeks, the transmissions continued, sometimes hours apart, sometimes just few minutes, always from unknown locations. Local law enforcement, volunteers, and even amateur CB enthusiasts joined the effort to locate Larry. Every search team combed the forest, setting up radio equipment, hoping to pinpoint him. Yet, despite repeated attempts, Larry was never found. And as the weeks passed, the transmissions grew less frequent, until one night, they stopped entirely.
Before we get to the final stretch of this story, if you're into cases like this, the kind that sit right on that line between documented fact and something we can't fully explain, then you'll probably want to subscribe to my channel at The Cold Case Report. I post stories like this regularly, and if you don't subscribe, you're almost guaranteed to miss the next one.
Over the years, several theories emerged. Some say Larry wandered into a hidden cave system where his radio somehow continued to transmit. Others believe he was taken by someone or something, and the CB transmissions were a warning. Paranormal researchers even suggested the possibility of a ghostly or interdimensional presence, claiming the voice was trapped between worlds. No theory, however, explains why the transmissions stopped exactly when they did, or why the signal was clear from locations miles apart. Neighbors recall seeing flickering lights in the woods. Hunters reported hearing a child crying, yet no one could find him. Even Larry's own friends claimed to hear his voice over the CB radio after he vanished. And the most unsettling part? Some of these transmissions included phrases Larry had never said, words that only an adult or something else could know. Today, Larry's disappearance remains unsolved. The forest has long since grown back over paths where search parties once combed, but the recordings exist, preserved by collectors, enthusiasts, and even some original officers, and they still send shivers down the spines of those who listen. Larry's voice, frozen in the static, a reminder that sometimes people disappear, and sometimes they're never truly gone. The Lost Boy, Larry CB Transmissions, is a story of disappearance, mystery, and something beyond explanation. And as with many cold cases, the questions remain unanswered, haunting, and strangely familiar. So, the next time your radio crackles late at night, pay attention, because the voices you hear might just be calling for help.